Hello and welcome to Championship Chatter here on Pitch Football. Thank you for giving us your time. We do appreciate it. My name is Jonny.
And I'm Jonno.
And we're going to be catching up a little bit. We have been a bit behind on all the Championship action. See the state of the Championship at the moment. As Sheffield United fans, we can still sing, "We are top the league, say we are top the league." How are we still top the league? How? Does nobody else want to take top spot? Because we've given them every fucking chance to take top spot, haven't we?
1 point out of the last 9 is,
relegation.
It just shows you what kind of league it is at the moment.
It's relegation form, that, from us, isn't it?
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously, we'll go into the results that have just been going on. Starting with life at Middlesbrough, just lost 2-0 to Millwall.
Yes, not looking good for Middlesbrough at the moment. Obviously, part of company with their manager. A brace from Zian Fleming for Millwall just adds more pain to him at the moment. And Boro fans just not happy at the moment.
No. We've said it before. People are going, "Oh, Wilders fell out with Boro again," and there's rumours here, rumours there. I think Boro's a bit like Leeds were, you know, when Eckenbottom went there. I think Boro's becoming a bit of a poison chalice.
It seemed to look, he didn't have that bond that he had with players and like he did in his previous clubs. It's just, what are they going to bring in that's going to change it? I mean, if a manager like Wilder can't turn it around, I think it's going to take something drastic.
I think when you get the guy who's running the club making promises and assurances to Wilder, and isn't he making excuses? He still needs to get football out of those on the pitch.
Yeah.
But a team that's got a wafer thin squad themselves, we know how hard it can be when you haven't got that squad to work with. When you're told you can bring players in, so he lets players go at end of contracts, ships out players as well. Obviously, we're going to lose Jed Spence. Money were always going to come in for him, weren't it? You're left there with a very, very small group of players, and you can't bring anybody else in.
That's what we've always said. That's the problem with loan players.
Yeah.
They can get so attached to, do a great job, and you just can't afford to keep them. If you're in Championship, bigger clubs are going to come in and take them away.
Yeah, 100%. And they get poached out straight away. It's like a trial for a minute, really. Put the showcase on display. It's like Morgan Gibbs-White. Played brilliant for us because he was too good for Championship. Is he good enough for the Premier League? Not at Forest.
Well, maybe not yet, but he's still early on.
But yeah, Boro's obviously got that issue. A team that doesn't seem to have that issue, and a team that always makes a scrappy start and then comes strong at the end, Millwall, they're doing all right so far.
Yeah, they're keeping up pace. But I would say they do start well. Finish. What is it, other way around? I can't remember.
They usually start off quite scrappy and then finish strong, like just missing out top playoff.
They started quite strong, so you never know.
They'll fuck it up at end of season.
Other way around.
Norwich, the team that you probably thought would be top of the league right now.
They should be top of the league right now.
They would if it weren't for who?
PNE. Nearly doubling their score tally.
For the entire season.
Match, Goals 7, and they scored 3 of them against Norwich.
That's a crazy result, that. At Norwich as well.
Yeah, I would have thought that. How many people had that on your accumulator?
None of you. Let's be fair, absolutely none of you.
But they're all had Norwich, so definitely Norwich is on twat list.
you had Norwich, didn't you?
I might have.
Bet responsibly, kids. No, Preston, we said when we went there, we beat them 2-0 at their ground. We said if they could put Wallet back at net, they'd be a dangerous team. And that just shows in this game, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Is this leading on to something now? I mean, a brace from Rice, however you pronounce him.
Rice, baby.
And then Parrott, so it's...
Yeah, Troy Parrott getting on the score sheet, that's going to give him world of confidence, because he's a good striker, him. Obviously, Tottenham loanee, he were at MK last season, at Milton Keynes. I think he were at Milton Keynes last season. Correct me if I'm wrong, I could be. But he looks a very, very good, promising striker. Top level elite? No. If he starts banging in goals... Championship higher level, definitely. Then if he can get on a score sheet, you've got Ched Evans there. You've got players that theoretically should bring ball back at net. Once it starts to click, a bit like with McBurney at Sheffield United.
Yeah.
I know I keep going back to Sheffield United, but I've got to pull, obviously, experience from what I can see. Once a player like that starts bringing goals, where does it stop?
That's what they really need, that striker as well, don't they? I mean, the goals this season is just not enough. And they need someone to take control and get them goals. Yeah. And they're not good far wrong. Are they 8th at the moment? So and I think they've got to play Bristol before.
Bristol.
And then I think we'll go
Bristol.
to 5th. Bristol City. Apologies to all the Bristol City fans. I hate it when people call us Sheffield, so I apologise. Sorry.
Yeah, fucking slap on wrist next time, kid. But yeah, with Preston, I think they could be a dark horse this season. They could make once they start getting goals, they could really cause a lot of teams problems. I'm glad we've played them at their ground already.
Yeah, they're proving too hard to beat with so many draws. So yeah.
Norwich, Dean Smith. Can't take his.
We're not fans of Dean Smith.
No, can't take his opportunities though, can he? Perfect opportunity. And we obviously with a depleted Sheffield United squad to go out, who lost, which we'll talk about next, to go out, take advantage, put your team top of league, and cement your flag. He couldn't do it.
No. Bottled it.
Whether that's them bottling it or Preston just being too good on the day, it's a big, big missed opportunity. And I still think the longer they aren't top, the more chance they have of dropping out of it.
Oh, no, I think they'll still finish top.
You think they'll finish top?
Yeah, I do. I don't want them to. I'm not very fond of Norwich.
No, me neither.
I don't like Smith. Just, I don't know.
Not a big fan.
I'm just not a big fan of Norwich, sorry. but I know they'll be top 2 end of season at least.
Let's get it out of the way, shall we? You read that out.
Stoke City 3, Sheffield United 1.
Who fucking let them appoint Alex Neil?
What an appointment. Now, I think United had a bad day at office. Stoke
had a bad day at office? We didn't even take any of his first team players, did we?
Well, we did, but even on paper, I think we had a decent team out. I'm not taking it away from Stoke. They did play well.
No, you can't take it away from Stoke. From the bits of football I saw, they did look like a new team. They were pressing forward. Obviously, going on the highlights, they were looking dangerous, putting the ball in the back of the net, which is the full battle, really, isn't it?
Our tactics it was long ball for us.
Yeah.
I've not seen us play that long to a very small team as well.
Yeah.
We had some really small players out there, and Stoke could just easily defend it. When you've got a 55-year-old scoring an header past us anyway, isn't Phil Jagielka.
That's bad.
It's bad.
Didn't celebrate though, did he?
He did a little bit, and then I think he thought, oh shit, United. But no, even if he celebrated, as long as he don't go overboard, fair play to him. He's still scoring goals at his age.
Really good result for Stoke. Played some good football. They could be on. They could be on. I'm not going to say it's a dramatic upward turn, but a bit of life breath. A bit of life breathing into the squad.
Yeah, but I think it was their own form that they were quite bad against. They weren't scoring many. And they weren't winning, and it's just.
Then
your own forms has got to be better than that.
And then along comes Sheffield United with 64,000 injuries. When you see that team sheet come through, it's made up of kids, backup players. It's difficult to take that we've again come to this. It's like last season, again.
Yeah, but we've got a bigger squad this one, and we seem to have more injuries for it. It's just what we've got to do.
One thing I will say is, as much as I love Paul Heckingbottom's been doing a fantastic job, people criticise managers for not having a plan B. It is becoming increasingly aware that I don't think Heckingbottom has got a plan B. I don't know if you agree.
Based on that performance, no. I mean, I know we're blaming injuries a lot, but we tried to play the same style with less defenders on the pitch. It
don't work.
No, you'll try something different.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not working at the moment.
Managers earn their pay through decisions like that.
Yep.
It's all right with a fully fit squad of very, very talented players. You still got to put them together. You still got to come up with a tactic that works, and you still got to go out and do it. Slav couldn't do that. But where you really earn your money is when that doesn't work. And we've seen it again this season. QPR, it weren't working. We lost. Birmingham weren't working. They snatched a draw. This is our worst little run now. Sheffield United really need to have a look at things, because we don't know how long some of these players are going to be out for.
I think we're a few back for Saturday against Blackpool, which is a massive game for us at the moment.
It is. But are they going to be firing on all cylinders? Are they going to be ready to go? Just because you're back from injury doesn't mean you're ready, does it?
No. McBurney's back from suspension though, so he's in the goals at the moment.
But the problem is with the players we've got at the moment, we're just banging it long ball to him.
Yeah.
We've gone back to what wasn't working instead of playing what was working.
Yep. Which
was early balls, driven in, on the floor, or that height. Because he's not a target man. Despite his height, he's not a target man, is he? He's like a taller Billy Sharp. Maybe not as clinical at times.
Who's not looking very good at the moment as well, Sharp. It's just...
I love Sharpie, but how old is he, 79? Just come back from another injury. I don't know, once Billy Sharp puts a ball back at net, you can never write him off from scoring again, can you? Moving on, anyway, we don't need to be too Sheffield United centric. The Blades. West Bromwich Albion 0, Luton Town 0.
Oh, they're doing well, tall West Brom. We did tell you not to sign Steve Bruce.
appointing Steve Bruce was up there with one of the worst decisions available.
Yeah, we said he were a dinosaur. His tactics don't work in Championship anymore. They don't work in football anymore.
No.
He just hasn't got a clue.
Chris, West Brom fan, he obviously contributes towards the channel. Really good to talk about football, knows his stuff. He was slightly optimistic when Bruce first came. He says, we'd look like we're attacking it. The thing with Bruce is, you very quickly found out.
Yep.
And he's another manager that's come a long way without a plan B.
He's had his day. He's been successful in the past. Don't get me wrong, he's got a very good manager career. It just does not work anymore.
No, you hit that certain point. As much as I love Jose Mourinho as a manager, and he's a fantastic manager, in the Premier League, the way that evolved, it got found out after a while.
It did.
And he didn't adapt and change, which is why he's doing so well in Italy, because the standard, the way Italian football's played hasn't changed in 20, 30 years, has it?
No, it's I mean, ours has changed drastically, hasn't it?
Yeah, and not even just in the Premier League, but down to the Championship.
Yeah.
Even I will say, there is still some rough and tumble, and referees still seem to think it's 70s. But the way that League One's played is different.
Yeah, I mean, I do watch a lot of football, and some quality is good. Play it along the floor. There's no hoofball by any team. They all try to play it hard from back. It's just the way it is now.
Yeah, and that's the way football's come and that's the way football's developed. It's the way it's changing. And when you've got a manager who can't adapt to the new way football is played, you end up with a manager like Steve Bruce.
Who do you think he'll get another job, or do you think that's him done?
I think he'll get another job.
I don't.
It'll be somebody desperate.
I think he'll retire in Caribbean now.
Watching cricket. I think he'll get another job just solely on somebody who'll be that desperate to have him. Well, not him in particular, but a manager.
Desperate people, but Wednesday, won't it?
He could end up at Hull.
Not again.
Yeah, I think he will. He could end up with round 2 at Hull.
No.
Middlesbrough.
No, he's not going. That's it. He's done. He's done.
Luton, another good point for them. Away on the road against a team that on paper should be up there.
Yeah, I mean they're clawing away from relegation zone, when I thought they'd be struggling a bit more than what they are doing. I mean, they're nowhere near having a good season like they did last season.
No.
I think they're not going to be relegation fodder, are they?
No, when you look at Luton, it's a strange one because they've got some good players there when you look at it on paper.
Yeah.
A lot of them are ageing, but they're there for the final hurrah, which is fair enough. That you can't begrudge that a player, especially when he's still digging deep and going for it. Last season, was it an anomaly, or was it just the right players at the right time? That can't go on forever.
Yeah, no, it was just a bit of confidence when it comes.
I think that's what it was.
I put that on silent.
I don't see him making any dramatic, magical push for promotion again. I think that day is long gone now. But on paper, I think they've done enough to be a mid-table team.
Trouble is, though, when they're floating about that mid-table team, this is when other clubs are coming for their players and they're tempted away.
You see, they've not got that many young players, though, have they? I think they're all right for that. I think they'll keep a lot of what their stronger players. I think they're at the right age to be kept. I don't think anybody will be rushing in to steal them. I think they've got a good team.
If you've got an older generation they want to get what they can out of their career, and they'll be tempted to a move.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will come in for them, though.
Well, we'll see.
As we've briefly gone over, obviously Watford sacked the manager. Who's there at the minute?
Well, it was Bilic yesterday. It could be anybody tomorrow.
Steve Bruce. It could be Steve Bruce today. Tune in next week to see who Watford manager is. But now, at the moment, it's Bilic.
We're going to have a sweepstake for the next manager.
It's going to be Steve Bruce. I'm telling you, Steve Bruce will be Watford. Before end of season, Steve Bruce will be Watford manager.
It's a shambles there, managerial leading careers, and he's just, come on.
The fucking hokey-cokey of management. It's madness. When he had Roy Hodgson there.
That was a strange one.
That was fucking weird.
Yeah, a bit strange, that one.
But Watford are having a bad season. Started off so well against us as well, didn't it?
Yeah, but even then they didn't look like they were going to be world beaters.
No.
So yeah, he's
pace up top. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all he had.
Yeah. No, I think in this instance, I probably think a change of manager early was a good move.
You think Bilic is the man?
I mean, finish the sentence.
Oh.
For any other club. For us last season at this time, it would have been a good decision.
Yeah.
The problem with Watford is, because it happens all the time, there's no impact, because they've got a new manager every fucking 6 weeks anyway.
Exactly. I mean, you've got to give a manager a bit more time.
Yeah.
What did he have in charge? 9 months?
Something like that.
Or would it...
Brian Potter. Not Graham, Brian.
Rob Edwards.
Rob Edwards, yeah. I think to me, the face, not the face, but the style didn't really fit, wasn't really good enough. Was about right time for a change, I think, before the damage has done too much. Going a last push like we did when we appointed Eckenbottom. Probably a good move for any other club. The problem is there's players there that have seen 18 different managers. So it's not going to give them any kind of new optimism, is it? Because they think, why am I going to listen to you when you've been gone in 6 weeks?
I know.
That's the problem. Yeah. Players are sat there picking up paycheck going, I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to do what you say.
Still not be here.
No. What are you going to do? Fine me. You'll be gone before I have to pay a fucking fine. It's a shambles at Watford. An undercurrent ownership. That yo-yo mentality. Well, I think somebody's cut the string. Because I think now you're just staying down.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him, is it?
No. I think you stop being a yo-yo now and you're just going to be a rock.
Fair play to fans though, singing sacked in the Warrington Village.
Brilliant. Hull, another team to part company with the manager. All this isn't recent news, but we've been missing, so we've got to go over it.
Good old all the lads, eh?
I don't see what's going on at Hull. The Turkish revolution doesn't seem to be
well,
very
didn't
well.
They? And then it was just too many
injuries, too many foreign players. A manager, again, we've mentioned it a lot this season, there's no plan B. And I'm talking to Anne, who is a Hull fan from your favourite name podcast, Hull and Bag. Anne said to me, playing players in the wrong position, not attacking enough for the attacking talent they've got.
I won't have a clue where their players play in which position. I mean, you've got to be multilingual to speak to them all, surely. How are you supposed to get messages across to everybody during a match when you've got so many different languages?
Ball. Net. That's all you need to do.
But you should be their manager.
Yeah, give me a job! But I just think that, like you said, too many new players, too many foreign players, and that's not me being Mr. Brexit. It is a case of you need a harmonious dressing room, and unless you're Arsenal and you're paying them 90 grand a week, you don't have that.
Well, that's not worked for them for 10 years, has it, really?
No, but it's working now. They were always in top 10. I mean, can we really moan about being top 10 in Premier League, Jonno?
Well, Arsenal fans couldn't they?
Well, Arsenal fans could moan about anything. They're the most entitled fans in the world. But this isn't Premier League talk. We're just using it as an example. Unless you're a rich club with a worldwide following, which Hull are not, you can't have that kind of dressing room.
Yeah.
Especially at Championship level. Too much arrogance.
We're all 18 somewhere and that cold weather's coming in. They don't like it.
Oh, they're fucked. Double fucked. It's like Traore when he used to, unless it were Traore. I think they've signed him and all, haven't they, Traore? Yeah, I think they have. I think Hull have got Traore and all. Unless it's like 34 degrees, he wears gloves. like Peter Unlove used to for us.
Oh.
But yeah, too many foreign players. I'm going to say it now, from where they've been signed from, probably too many egos. A manager that didn't know really what his best starting lineup and tactic was.
Not much for your ego coming from anywhere to go to Hull, though, is it?
I don't think they care for money at their age, because they're not a lot of them are young players. But I just think probably the right time again. I think with them, it is the right decision to get rid of the gaffer.
Yeah.
The problem with them is they're taking a long time to get a replacement in.
Yeah.
I think they'll struggle to get somebody, because it seems to me that it's not the manager buying the players.
You think not?
No. I think it's the board.
Oh, hire somebody now and tell them that in January. Oh, by the way, we forgot to say, you don't sign anybody.
Yeah. But they'll end up with 16 new players in January, but he won't have picked any of them, whoever it is. There'll be a short list now of players they missed out on, and they'll bring them in January, whether the manager wants them or not. And I think that's going to be an issue, and that's going to stop potential managers going there. Who do you see it being that's going to go there?
I don't know.
Steve Bruce.
It's definitely not with Steve Bruce. Chris Wilder might do. It's not far from.
No chance. Is Chris Wilder going to go and work?
He is a Brexit manager.
No way is he going to go and work under a board like that.
Probably not. I've heard Carlos Carvajal and all.
That could work. That could work. As much as because there's piggy links.
To be honest with you, out of all the Wednesday managers, I could not hate him. I just liked him.
Yeah, he was their best manager.
Yeah.
Swansea were a poison chalice. They were already coming down regardless. He said, you know what? He never got the pigs into the Premier League, but he's one that came closest.
Exactly. And he was just a likeable guy. I hated him for that.
He was a good manager. Do you know what really fucked him over and ruined his career? Losing to us 4-2 at Middlesbrough.
I thought you were going to say I am here for Hull.
Yeah, that as well. But even then, you thought with the team they had, they could want to do something. We ruined his career. He had a meltdown, and he's not recovered since. So we ruined Carlos Carvajal, so Hull could put him back together. It could be a good appointment, that.
Yeah.
I could see it working. Middlesbrough. Who's left to bring in?
Steve Bruce. No, I don't know. What about our old manager, Jokanovic?
That could work.
You think?
It could work. I could see it working. With players they've got, his style of football could work.
Well, he's got the wingers, hasn't he?
Yeah. Wingers, horrible grotty players in middle. It could work, that. I think Middlesbrough have got an issue where I think what they need to look at is, again, I think the guy who runs the team, is the chairman, the owner, he's a bit of a likely lad. And I don't think he speaks the truth. I don't think
most boards do when they look for a manager.
No, 100%, I agree with that. I think you kind of have to be wary of that after meeting with our chairman. But I just think that unless he puts some serious investment into the squad, I'm not saying go out and sign world beaters. They need depth in numbers, but they need to be good enough to challenge for the first day. They need to be looking at people that are just on outskirts, on fringe of teams that just aren't getting game time, and bring them in, give them a chance.
Yeah.
Well, look at what Wilder did with players like that. But he didn't even get a chance to do that, did he? Looking at these fringe players, and I really think whoever goes into that Boro job has to be very careful.
It's not really a bad thing being a manager, is it? You get paid for the next 3 years anyway, so there's no incentive for managers to do well anymore, is there really?
No.
Especially when you're for Watford, is it? I'll sign a 3-year contract and just
get paid for 3 years.
I'll do 3 months' work and I'm out, really. Who to be a manager at the moment?
West Bromwich Albion. Bye, Bruce. 3 years worth of kebabs in Caribbean, you're sorted.
I think Wilder's one of the favourites for that job as well. Roy Keane's even been putting out for that as well. Roy Keane. Do you know what? I would love to see him as a manager.
I've seen him as a manager. He was shite. He was fucking awful. You know what people who can't manage do? Become pundits.
Ask Gary Neville.
But Chris Wilder, it's favourite. I could see him having the same problems that West Brom had at Middlesbrough and towards the end of his United career, not agreeing with board.
So in other words, he just don't like boards.
I think he worked... No. Don't get me wrong. I think he worked well with boards that stuck to their word. For United, up until that second season Premier League, until Abdullah got full control of the club, we pretty much kept his word on things. We didn't set expectations up here and then deliver here. We set expectations there and then delivered just above. So if West Brom said, come in, do your thing, we ain't got loads of money, you can bring in fringe players, you can choose the players yourself, we're going to give you a season and a half to turn it around, and then we'll have to review it if it's not working. It could go in there and be successful. If they're going to go, right, Chris, we give full control, we're going to gear this, we're going to gear this, we're going to gear this, and then they can deliver fuck all, it'll be another one where it's like, well, fuck this.
Yep.
And
you said that, I said that, we'll come to an agreement that nothing's going to happen like.
Yeah, and most managers will just, like Slav, it was very passive aggressive, he just like sat there with his arms folded for us and didn't give a shit. Wilder's not like that. He wants to win games and he wants to do well, and when it's not working well, he'll lash out because he will take responsibility. People seem to think he does, but what he won't do is stand there and take all the flack when he knows he's blame on the other side as well. And that's where this confrontational manner comes in. But West Brom, out of all the clubs and all the jobs available, I think that's probably the best one going for him.
Really think?
Yeah, I think if he's going to choose one, that'd be the one I'd choose. About you?
I think he'll take a bit of time out at the moment anyway. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in line for any of these jobs. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure he had tried to go to West Brom after he left us and didn't decide to, so I can't see him taking any of them at the moment.
You've heard what we think. Let's go around the Championship fans and get some varying opinions.
Chris Hall here for Pitch Footy. Albion heading to Reading this weekend with the Royals flying high and Albion not so much. The Baggies managerless after sacking Steve Bruce on Monday. Richard Beale set to take charge. Slightly concerning because the last time Richard Beale took charge of a first team match, he was caretaker manager after Lee Clark was sacked at Birmingham. He got beat 8-0 by Bournemouth. So let's hope that that's not some sort of an omen for this weekend. As for the Albion's manager hunt, well, for some reason the bookmakers seem to have Sean Dyche as the heavy favourite. I don't think any Albion fan believes that we're anywhere close to that lucky or that competent, to be honest, in terms to go and get a manager with that level of pedigree. but we wait and see as to who it's likely to be. Far more likely scenario after Gourlay hired his pal Steve Bruce is that he will fish back into his contacts book and gets one of his mates like Roy Keane, John Terry or Mark Hughes. So we all have that to look forward to. I mean, another big game for the Albion. They all are when you're 22nd in the league. We've got to start climbing that table at the moment, but bigger issues to solve off the pitch. And as I say, Richard Beale with the likes of James Morrison alongside him, just holding the fort, as it were, this weekend. Let's hope they can get a interim manager bounce, and we can get an unexpected win, because any result at the moment is unexpected. We don't look like we could win a game for love nor money at the minute.
Blackpool's season so far has been about what we expected, really. Just not in the relegation zone, but not in mid-table, just somewhere in between, which is about where we see ourselves at the moment. We obviously had that decent season last year for the first step back at this level, and we excelled ourselves, really, particularly in the first half of the season. Dropped a little bit towards the end after sort of the job was done, really, and this year it's much the same. We've obviously lost our manager and our key man in Josh Bowler as well, so it's much, first priority number one is to stabilise ourselves at this level, particularly for the next couple of years. But I think what we are trying to do is progress on the field in terms of our style of play and be a little bit more expansive, a little bit more fluid, and get more attacking players onto the pitch, which we've looked to do this season under Michael Appleton. So largely the fans are happy, and we're fairly confident that we're going to have a decent season, largely similar to what we had last year. In terms of current key men, I'd say Jerry Yates is in form in terms of his couple of goals at the weekend against Watford, so he's one to watch, as he always is. I think Charlie Patino, on loan from Arsenal, is another man who is starting to establish himself in the side, and he played a little bit further forward on Saturday, which seems to suit his game better, so he's another one. And then the other one is Marvin Ekpiteta, who's our centre-half. He usually is captain, but Chris Maxwell's return to the side has allowed him just to focus on his game, and he's a really top defender at this level as well. In terms of expectations, we are... before Saturday I would have said we don't score many goals and we're not particularly good at keeping them out either. I think we're probably a 7 out of 10 in both boxes at the moment, so I'm not expecting us to really threaten in front of goal, but at the same time we don't give that many chances away either, so it's a tough one to call, really. Obviously we won last year at Bramall Lane, which was a massive surprise for us, so potentially thinking we might get done over this time round with that in mind. In terms of predictions, I'm going to go with a 1-0 defeat this time round.
Hello my friends, this is Mike with some thoughts on Watford, and I've given it some real careful consideration, really let it sort of swill around in my head, really mulled it over, and I've worked out that Watford are absolutely terrible. Promotion? Don't think so. It's relegation we need to be worried about. See you next time. The new manager bounce lasted for all of 90 minutes. That first win against Stoke, 4-0 away from home the Sunday before last, seems like a distant memory, because since then we've lost at home to Swansea and then capitulated away at Bloomfield Road to give Blackpool their first win of the season at home. And it was a walk, not in the park, but on the Blackpool Pleasure Beach for Blackpool. We made it far too easy for them. We had lots of possession, but defensively, again, Watford were all at sea. Yes, we had injuries. Yes, we had Dan Gosling at right back, but that really doesn't excuse the pathetic nature, the pathetic way that Watford just rolled over and let Blackpool stroll to that 3-1 win. And I think what it shows is that there are really, really deep problems at Vicarage Road. I think there's a real concern that the players' attitude and application is completely wrong. The performance against Swansea was dismal. The performance against Blackpool, no disrespect to Blackpool, a different proposition to Swansea. They aren't as good a footballing team, but Watford made them look like vintage Brazil, quite frankly, at times. It was far, far too easy, and we've talked about the manager, we've talked about the owners, we've changed the manager, and there's one thing that's consistent in these inconsistent performances, and it's this group of players. If they are serious about being contenders for promotion back to the Premier League, and just even thinking about the Premier League makes me shudder. We couldn't be further away from being a team, squad or club ready for the Premier League. They're going to have to bang each other's heads together pretty quickly. I mentioned it before, there have been injuries, there are mitigating circumstances. The defence was sort of not, that we haven't got enough defensive recruits anyway, but we are missing half of them through injury. It looks like Imran Luzer's going to be suspended now for up to 6 games. He's been charged with spitting during the Swansea game, which obviously is, if it is proved to be the case, is pretty disgusting, and he deserves everything that comes his way. But it leaves us light in midfield, and really Watford, for me, are going backwards. So I guess we're already looking forward to the break for the World Cup, just so we can recharge our batteries, because so far this season it's been pretty grim. Norwich next on Saturday evening. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Watford went and won the game. That's the sort of team they are. Absolutely appalling against the poorer clubs, better against the better ones. But I don't think anyone's really looking forward to it. And tough times to be a Watford fan. On we go.
Some big games coming up this weekend. And do you know what big games usually means?
A bit of foreplay.
A bit of foreplay. You know the rules by now. Get on the Pitch Football app. Pick 4 fixtures. They can be Premier League, Championship. I think they even do Cup ones sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. Get on the leaderboard by getting results right. It's simple. It is simple. And points make prizes. We've got quarterly awards and a yearly big award. All you have to do, get on the app, pick the results, try and top that leaderboard. We want a different winner this year. From, I can't remember his name, but there's one guy who seems to win it every year. I'm sure he's like Mystic Mega, something like that. But we're going to go through 4 games we've hand-selected for the Championship and give our foreplay predictions. Starting off with Jonno, Rotherham versus Huddersfield, which is the half-12 kick-off. Never back the early kick-off, but we are going to.
Oh wait, we're going to go for it?
We're going to go for it.
I'm going for a Rotherham win.
Rotherham win.
Huddersfield is just a shambles.
Yeah, they're awful. That's another team, management-wise. We forgot them.
Exactly, because they're a forgettable team.
Just a whole lot of nothing.
It's just, yeah.
They should. The guys that and he takes that chance are going to hate me for this, but last season we were last chance. The fact that they didn't go up has set you back years and years. Losing your Benidorm manager has set you back years and years. Coburn.
Oh, he's been linked for it. West Brom job and all.
I don't see him getting that job. I think he wanted a certain job this summer and he didn't get it when he left Huddersfield. Yeah, I'm going to go for Huddersfield win.
Huddersfield win.
I'm going to go for Huddersfield.
Rotherham's another one has lost the manager and all.
Yeah, Paul Warren left, but they've brought somebody in.
Yeah.
Guy from Exeter.
It's strange. Would you go down the league back to Derby? I know it's all money, but he's done a right job with Rotherham. He's brought him up. He's been doing well this season.
Yeah, but he's been there a long time and he's had a good start this season. But is he ever going to get him promoted? Is he ever going to go that way?
What's he going to do with Derby?
The chance
It's going to get him promoted from League One possibly next season. But
the thing with Derby County is, stadium-wise, infrastructure-wise, there's always a chance to take Derby one step further with the right investment. And at his stage of his career, having only ever been Rotherham manager, taking him probably as far as you can go, Derby's probably a logical step because he thinks, I could get him up and then go a step further. He might not do, but would you deprive yourself of that chance of being the guy to do that? After doing it, realistically,
honestly, if you're in the same league, then yeah, I don't blame him. But going back down the league, and if you don't wait for him there,
but you got to take that gamble. You've got to take that gamble. You can't.
He's going to go back to Rotherham if you don't wait.
Ambitious managers gamble. Alex Ferguson could have stayed at Aberdeen and been a fucking legend. He won fucking European Cup Winners' Cup and all that.
But who wants to stay in Scotland?
A Scottish person. But it took a Man U job at a time when Man U weren't the favourites. Leeds had just won the league the year before that. Man U probably weren't the best they've ever been. And he took a chance to rebuild the club and take them a step further. Right, we've gone from European football to, for Man U at the time, he probably were mediocrity. And he transformed the club and built a legacy. Paul was never going to build a legacy at Derby that's going to live up to Alex Ferguson's.
The trouble is, like Alex Ferguson actually was given time. You don't get time anymore.
No, you don't. But I think long term, Paul Warren could achieve more at Derby than he ever could at Rotherham. And I think that's what he's gambled on.
You?
Oh no. I hope he gets sacked after 3 weeks. So I'm up in Derby and Forest both liquidate at the same time. But anyway, I'm picking Huddersfield and you've gone for Rotherham.
I have.
Burnley versus Swansea City. I'm going to go first. I'm going to say Swansea away win.
Swansea away win?
Swansea away win.
What is it? 4 v6 at the time anyway, unless Preston's won.
Yeah.
I'm going for a Burnley win.
Have Burnley really set the world alight this season?
No, but they're still up there.
They are, and they're very boring to watch.
It just shows you where they are, and they haven't really kick-start yet.
No, but I think Swansea have got this one, you know.
So it's definitely Norwich and Burnley getting first and second. Yeah. But we're going to enjoy top of the league while we can.
While we can. We should have ended already. So. But no, I see this game being a Swansea away win. I think they'll punish Burnley for not. How to explain this? Because they don't sit too deep, but they are still quite boring to watch. And I think Swansea will just overload them. Swansea did that to us a little bit when we won them. We scored it last minute. They overloaded us a lot in game, and it were only us bringing on some fresh legs at the end that cost them.
Yeah.
I think Swansea have
They seem to have come good since then, though, haven't they?
Yeah. They did the bounce straight back. I think Swansea could get an early goal, and they won't sit on it. They'll keep going, and Burnley won't know how to deal with that. So I can see it being an early goal, 1-0 Swansea win. You disagree?
Definitely.
Reading versus West Bromwich Albion. Reading have fell off a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, they didn't play too good over Friday night. West Brom are shocking anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just we are Steve Bruce on touchline. I think they might get a draw.
So I agree. I think it'd be a draw,
As well.
Yeah. What? Score draw?
Thinking no score.
I'm thinking exactly the same. 0-0.
Definitely going to happen.
0-0. That's definitely a 0-0. We agree. Last one, Watford. Whoever's going to be in charge.
Exactly. You might have 3 or 4 by then.
At home to Norwich.
Come on, Watford.
See, I see this one being. I'm finding it hard to pick one in this one.
Yeah, that's why I've sat on fence. I'm going for a draw.
I'm going for a draw. I'm going to go for a Watford win.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I'm tempted for a draw. I could see it being a draw.
For Watford win, you just said that they're not a chance of going up. It's a massive win if they do.
It is. I see Norwich shoot himself in foot more than I see Watford getting a win.
You think they're a bit out of touch from conceding 3 against Preston as well?
I think that, I think I'll do some damage, you know.
Yeah.
I think it will. I think they'll shoot themselves. They'll come out really, really, really up for setting things right after Preston.
Yeah.
And that'll be what shoots them in foot, because they'll get broke on with pace. And that'll be what leads to a Watford win. It'll not be that Watford come out there and absolutely stonk them. It'll be Norwich will shoot themselves in the foot.
Right.
It's a strange division, this.
It is. I mean, Championship's always been a bit strange, but this one's just.
Yeah.
How can we not win in 3 and still be top of the league?
It's very strange. I said that this is a stronger Championship than last season.
I think it's weaker.
I think it's stronger, but
You're not going to have that team that's going to run away with it.
no, obviously not. But I think that's more down to the fact that it's just a strange division.
Yeah.
The teams that are in it aren't doing what they should be doing.
I mean, I think you look right down to 8th place. They could win and jump themselves like right to 4th. And I mean, we're into the season now. It's not as though it's still early.
No, a team that's lost 3 games all season in Sheffield United, top at league on goal difference.
Yep.
Norwich, have they lost 4?
Exactly, all the same.
Yeah.
All top 3, all the same.
It's madness, absolutely insanity. It's very exciting to watch, but for us actual Championship fans that have got a team in the race, it can be very, very want
Yeah, but would you like to chase top spot or stay on top spot and try and run away with it?
Run away with it.
Said try.
I want to be, at the end of the season, I want to be 20 points fucking
Well, a lot of
clear.
people seem to get to the top and then worry about what they're doing below, and it has an effect.
Yeah, I've never bought into that.
You know?
Never bought into that. I think once you're top, you just think, right, we're top, we're going to beat you, we're going to beat you, we're going to beat you, we're going to beat you. But they're winning.
I wish United for that.
I know, yeah. I think the best way to win a division is not worry about what people below you are doing. Why?
They do, though.
I know they do, but why? Just worry about beating the next guy. If you
I think early kickoffs don't work as well. If you don't get a result of your early kickoff, or if they're playing early and they're winning and they're above you, it's
mad.
It's a lot more pressure.
Insanity. We could talk about that for hours in itself, but we have waffled on for quite a while. Another big weekend of Championship football. Are we still going to be top on goal difference? Are Norwich going to take top spot, or are QPR going to actually get up there? Burnley could be top by the end of the weekend.
Anybody could be top.
It's a strange one. Good luck to all involved, unless you're playing against Sheffield United. That means you, Blackpool.
Safe travels,
Safe
away days.
Safe travels to all 12 of you. I've been Jonny.
I've been Jonno.
I should be like you, Mel.